Hi everyone. I just wanted to do a quick little video to talk to you about decimals before your second assignment. So remember when we're talking about decimals that we're talking about parts of one whole. So if I had a decimal that had 3.61, we would read that as 3 wholes, and then there's 61 hundredths of another whole. So we don't have quite enough to make 4 wholes. We're only just a little over halfway there. Okay, I wanted to talk to you about a place value chart. You've seen place value chart in school before. We're going to start with the decimal, and on the left of the decimal, we have our ones, tens, hundreds, and we know that we can go on and on and on. But what we haven't talked about this year is to the right of the decimal. The place right after the decimal is our tenths, and after that is hundredths. And you should have seen that a little bit in grade 4. In grade 5, we are supposed to go up to thousands, but online it's a little bit tricky to do, so we're going to just kind of stick with hundreds and get a good grasp on that. So if I were to write 3.61 or 3 61 on our place value chart, I'd go 3.6 I could also write that as a whole word, so I would write 3.61 because that 1 is in our last place here. Okay, I could also write it as an expanded form. So that's when we put the pluses in between each place value. We've done that a lot in class too. So in this case, we have 3 wholes. We have a 6 in our 10th spot. So I would say plus decimal 6. And we have a 1 in our hundredths place. So I would make sure that goes 0.01. Anytime that we're working with the hundredths, we need to have 2 places after the decimal. Let's do another one just to get that filled in. So let's say our number is 5 3/100ths. So here we have 5 wholes and we only have 3/100ths. That's a really, really tiny little piece. Remember, you could also think of this as money. If I put a dollar sign right there, we could read that as $5.03. Which is also handy, and we'll be working with numbers a little bit later. In our place value chart, we have 5 wholes. We have a decimal here. We don't have any tenths, but we do have 3/100ths. So imagine that on that place value or on your hundredths flat, only 3 of those little blocks would be filled in. It's a really tiny little amount. To write that, I would write 5 3/100ths. And then to write it in expanded form, I have 5 wholes. I don't have any tenths, but I do have 3/100ths. Remember that you cannot just write that because that is 3/10. That 3 is right after the decimal place. It's 3/100ths, which is a really tiny amount.